जी, तो आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे मैक्रोमोलिक्यूल्स, our chapter number 14. Basically, when we see in chemical world, we have three scales. You already know those scales. One is nanoscale, that is known as nanoparticles. Next is micromolecules, and the third is macromolecules. Now, nanoparticles, these are quite new, and on a very basic scale, that is nanoscale, these are particles, and micromolecules are very small molecules. Macromolecules are also known as polymers, and these are those molecules which are greater in size, having large molecular mass. So in this chapter we shall discuss macromolecules. Basically, polymer comes from two-letter word. Poly mean many, and mer mean units. So that molecule which consists of many units is known as polymer. So the molecule which consists of repeated units is a polymer. Now we shall discuss its types. We classify macromolecules as inorganic molecules, macromolecules, and organic macromolecules. Inorganic macromolecules में हमारे पास diamond, graphite, and sand. Diamond and graphite, these are allotropic forms of carbon. These are joint molecules, and sand is SiO2, silicon dioxide. So basically it is macromolecule and linked structure polymer of SiO2. And in organic macromolecules, we have two types. We divide these organic macromolecules into biopolymers and synthetic polymers. Biopolymers are those macromolecules which are present in living organisms like lipids, proteins, carbohydrates, nucleic acids. And synthetic polymers are those macromolecules which we prepare in our lab. Synthetic fiber, rubber, plastics. And here you polymers की स्ट्रक्चर को हम तीन तरह से रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं. हमारे पास लीनियर पॉलीमर्स होते हैं, those polymers which have long linear chain of carbon atoms and repeating units, and those polymers which have branched chain, those are known as branched linear polymers. And third type is cross-linked linear polymer or interconnected polymer. और इनकी जो शेप है ये आपके सामने है. These are linked within linear structure through their branches. So we have three types of structural polymers. Degree of polymerization. What is degree of polymerization? Polymer chain की जो length है, it depends on number of repeated units. So number of repeated units in the chain is known as the degree of polymerization. For example, polyethylene or polyethylene, it is the polymer of repeating units of ethene. Now when n number of molecules are added together, तो ये हमारे पास linear chain polymer आ जाता है. And this continues, and which unit is being repeated? CH2, CH2, and so on. And number of this repeating unit is known as degree of polymerization. And आगे हम डिस्कस करते हैं मॉलिक्यूलर मास ऑफ पॉलीमर. किसी भी पॉलीमर की मॉलिक्यूलर मास जो है उसके लिए हमारे पास फार्मूला है मॉलिक्यूलर मास इज इक्वल टू molecular mass of monomer of repeated unit multiplied by degree of polymerization. चलें हम यहाँ पे कैलकुलेट करते हैं पोलीविनाइल क्लोराइड की. that is known as PVC, polyvinyl chloride. That is, it has formula CH2CHCl. This is PVC, formula for PVC. Now, how to calculate molecular mass of repeated unit? What is the molecular mass of this one? It is carbon 12 plus 2, 14, 14 plus 12, 26, 27, 27 plus Cl 35.5, it is 63.5 mass for this repeated unit. And degree of polymerization is 1000. So when we use calculator, it is 63,500. This is the molar mass, molecular mass of polyvinyl chloride average. And greater the molecular mass, greater will be the use of this polymer for synthetic rubber or fiber. And it is useful in making plastics also. चले आगे हमारे पास types of polymers. There are 3 types of polymers. One is homopolymer. Second is copolymer. And third is terpolymer. Terpolymer. जी तो अब हम इन तीनों polymers को one by one डिस्कस करेंगे. तो what is homopolymer? Homopolymer is formed by the polymerization of a single type of monomer. Homo mean one. So for example, polymerization of vinyl acetate. If we have vinyl acetate, when vinyl acetate polymerizes, then we get homopolymer polyvinyl acetate. Now here you see all these units are being repeated. It is known as homopolymer. And second is copolymer. A copolymer is formed by the polymerization of two monomers, two different monomers. So here we have example vinyl acetate. When it polymerizes with butyl malate, what happens? We get copolymer of vinyl acetate and butyl malate. हमारे पास ये जो 2 units हैं ये repeat होंगी 1 2 1 2. So repeating order will be 1 2 1 2 like this. So third type is terpolymer. In terpolymer, 3 different monomers are polymerized. लेकिन हमें इस रिएक्शन में बहुत ही एहतियात की जरूरत है कि कोई भी जो रिपीटिंग यूनिट है, it must follow the order 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. So this reaction is always carefully controlled. For example, when butyl acrylate, methacrylate and acrylic acid monomers polymerize, then high tough polymer which serves as a weather resistant paint, weather sheet, that is weather sheet. So we prepare our weather sheet, that is paint in our homes. It is from butyl acrylate, methacrylate and acrylic acid monomers. There are also two types of polymers depending on the stability of polymer, that is thermoplastic polymer and thermosetting polymer. Thermoplastic polymer is one which can be softened repeatedly when heated and hardened when cooled. So we can heat, we can cool thermoplastic polymers, and we can change from one shape to other shape anytime. For example, PV pipes, plastic toys. But what a second type is thermosetting polymers. Thermosetting polymers are those polymers which become hard on heating and cannot be softened again. It means we cannot change shape of thermosetting polymers once it is formed. If we will heat these thermosetting polymers, it will be so hardened that we cannot get a new shape. So thermosetting polymers on heating decomposes instead of melting. So this is important. And this question is very important. Okay, our next is polymerization process. Polymerization process consists of two types. There are two types of polymerization. One is addition polymerization and second is condensation polymerization. So what is addition polymerization? In addition polymerization, monomers are added together. And there are three steps of addition polymerization. One is initiation, second is propagation, and third is termination. This is the same step we have discussed in our alkanes during the chlorination of alkanes. Now what happens in these reactions, in addition polymer, it is a free radical addition reaction. So here we take example of styrene. When we use polymerization of styrene, addition polymerization is catalyzed by thermal or photochemical decomposition of organic peroxides. So we use organic peroxides to initiate this polymerization. Now what happens here? Here this is peroxide, organic peroxide. First it changes to free radicals. Now these free radicals are responsible to start the reaction. So here we have free radical, methyl free radical. Now when it reacts, one electron here, bond is broken from here, one electron comes here and one electron makes bond with this one. So R CH2 CH C6H5. This one is styrene, and usually you have seen its formula like this. We can write it like this. Okay, now what happens? This free radical then responsible for the start of next one. Now this step is known as propagation. So it propagates. So one electron here, it comes here, and here bond is broken and electron comes here. There is a bond between these and between this unit, and again free radical is formed. Now this free radical is responsible for the start of reaction with the next styrene molecule. So we get again and again free radical. Now third step is termination step. Now what happens in termination step? Two free radicals, usually we write it okay here, with this free radical it attaches with one electron. So reaction stops here. This step is known as termination step. In condensation polymerization, two molecules condense together and there is a removal of small molecule like water molecule or methyl alcohol molecule. It takes place in both ends on terminal carbon atoms. Okay, for example, dicarboxylic acids or esters combine with diols to get the desired polymer. Here we have another example. Now this one, dicarboxylic acid, it reacts with diol. So when these two molecules, dicarboxylic acid and dialcohols, diol, when react, there is a removal of water molecule and these two molecules condense together. Here we get this comes here CH2 CH2 OH. Now this reaction continues on both sides. Here n number of molecules of this acid, dicarboxylic acid, and this continues and we get polyester and 2n molecules of water. Okay, students, so these are the types of polymerization process.